Cool.
So welcome today. I'd like to introduce Callan Mantyvirta. So sorry, I hope I got that right. And also Sierra. And Callan and Sierra have created a relatively new business called Uncovering Hidden Gems. So welcome, Callan and Sierra.
Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much.
So, Callan, how long have you been in business for?
So, yeah, nine months. It's ticking over since April last year. We've been, kind of running this little show. And, it's been an exciting ride ever since ever since we launched our website, for sure.
Fantastic. And so tell us exactly, what is it that you actually are doing?
Yeah, cool. So last year, at the start of the year, I really had kind of that light bulb moment where I was just looking through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all these kind of social media platforms, and was seeing a bunch of videos that was all about like finding cool spots around the world and also in our own country of Australia. And all these places were kind of always popping up, and I'd save them and then like them. But then when it came to me actually wanting to be able to go to these places, and like I had the chance to, I could never find these videos and be able to formulate an idea of like where they were.
Right.
So
yep.
I pretty much pieced together the issue that was not being able to figure out where these places were and a way of storing, and then I organized it all into Google Maps. So jumped on there and started to pin places inside of Google Maps. And as I was pinning these places, I started to get a fair amount. And I was like, this seems to be rather valuable, like the amount of time I'm spending pinning these points down. This could potentially be something that I could share to other people. And as that kind of idea grew, I organized a bunch of other scenarios trying to get into an app, but then the spark of the website came up, and that's when we've built a website that allows people to jump on, purchase their membership into a Google Map or a Google Drive, as other people might see it. And once they've got their email sent through to us, we tag them into the map, and they can see every single change and every single hidden gem that we've researched over the last
Wow, that's awesome, man. And so tell me, do in researching and all these hidden gems that we have around Australia and obviously around the world, are you physically going to them as well and you know, I guess researching them right to the nth degree?
So a bit of a mix of both. So we just had an 8-month road trip up and down the east coast of Australia. So we were lucky enough to visit plenty of hidden gems around there, but we've also got a lot of good friends in the travel community online and in person that have been really awesome to help us, give us suggestions of places that they've been to themselves and send us through footage that we can use for the maps and our social media. And yeah, there's a lot that you can find if you dig right into the internet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places to be found.
We also spend a lot of time sifting through like even Google Maps in itself, and we go in and we scroll right in, and then you go around each marker and you just go through, read all the reviews just to see like what people are saying and what photos have come out of these places. And if it's all shaping up to like a few comments in there like absolute hidden gem, amazing spot, you should go here and everything like that, then would be like, that's the spot we should include inside the
So what's the top 2 spots that you visited so far from your point of view?
One of our favourites is a little national park in Queensland, about 2 or 3 hours inland of Rockhampton, called Blackdown Tablelands National Park. And there's a massive waterfall there called Rainbow Falls. And there's some little hidden infinity pools. And if you go further down, there's like abseiling ropes and little rope ladders to get down through some secret caves. And it's just, you feel like you're in another planet. It's like you're in Jurassic World.
If you've ever seen the film Journey to the Center of the Earth, it's it's really got that kind of energy. As you're going down, it's just like covered in ferns, and then you come out into a big kind of open cavern, and then there's a big cave on the other side with waterfalls coming down everywhere. It was, it's a really quite a special spot, and because the rope ladder is kind of off the beaten track, no one really goes
There's
down
no
there.
sign. So we just found it on accident when we were
Yeah.
exploring one day, and it's
So-
just, and it's crazy because it's in the middle of like the bush in Queensland, like all in amongst the mines and everything. You just don't expect it.
No one knows really about the Blackdown Tablelands, so I plugged that onto the list. And then the other one is just Blue Mountains. Blue Mountains is amazing.
So many places in the Blue Mountains.
So many incredible from hidden waterfalls, hidden
Caves.
rock pools. It's funny.
So tell us a little bit more about your journey into the business. What's been your biggest learning that you've had on that journey so far?
Yeah, well, I guess there's been so many learning curves that's gone on during our time in business, you could say. And probably the biggest one would have been right at the beginning when I was starting to think about the idea and how to formulate it into something that was going to be able to sell, like you could sell it.
Yes.
I even had the idea of just building an app for myself.
Can't afford to just be able to jump on and do it.
I'll jump in and build an app. And then
with no coding experience or anything.
I'm like, I'll watch a couple of YouTube videos and I'll be right to go. And then as soon as I watch about 10 minutes of a YouTube video, I'm like, this is going to take me 6 years.
Yeah.
Like I just knew straight away I was way out of my depth, started figuring out how I was going to get around that. And obviously as like an entrepreneur kind of mindset, you need to just keep finding ways
another way
to get around things if you hit a roadblock. And I spoke to a few different crowds to try and make an app, and we ended up getting hit with price tags of up to 200 grand.
Wow.
to get an app off the ground. And then that was another
roadblock for us.
Huge hit in the guts. So like we veered away from that's when we veered away from the app and went
more into the website.
Towards the website. So then we could prove the concept sells. So the learning curve was just genuinely not knowing.
So tell me, in terms of when you identified that there was a major roadblock, how did you actually work around that then?
We were definitely stuck for quite a bit. Like when we realized that we couldn't afford to get an app just made through a company, we were definitely just like, what do we do?
I approached a company that was a lot more of a, not necessarily like a developing like for app development, but it was more of an entrepreneurial
startup
crash course on how to solve problems and how to create business essentially. And I approached these guys and they gave me a bit of a book and a course on, it was all just online for me to dot everything off and just have it try and dig deeper into how I can get this idea to work. And when I was going through that crash course, I pretty much that's when the idea kind of sparked. It wasn't necessarily, it came up on the screen that this was a good way to go, but it was just, I was thinking enough for it to be able to veer my head off into how it was going to work. And I started looking.
So it prompted you to think of, okay, let's open the doorway and see, what path is going to be the best.
And the minimum viable product. So that was the key subject that I was looking at. And I was like, how can I make this as cheap as possible so I can prove that the concept will sell? And then all the rest will kind of tick along if we can talk to investors and everything once we've proven the concept. So there you go.
Well, fantastic. So what has been, I guess, the key personal learning that you've gone through for yourself or yourselves?
Definitely. Do you want to go
I don't know. I guess when we first thought of the app, we just thought we were going to have an app and then it was going to be out in 6 months and everything was going to be perfect. And I guess we've learned a lot of patience, that everything, like you can't build a business overnight. It takes a lot of time and a lot of hours and a lot of effort. But yeah.
And also
it's
just
been good.
managing your business to life kind of
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one that ever since I was little, I've always just like, if I had something I wanted to do, I'd just go 1000%
Just
at
hyper
it.
focus on it.
And
for a long
then I
time.
would just dig myself into the ground, and then I'd be in bedridden for like a week. So I just always can't like slow down on something. So
Yes,
over
we're
this
still
period,
learning.
it's
Yeah.
still been definitely the same, but I'm finding ways to be able to make a schedule and really be able to do the stress-free kind of things, like go out to the
Go out to the beach
and
without feeling guilty for not working.
yeah, be with your mates. And
Yeah.
rather than being at a beach just to be able to think about the business, I'll be at the beach just to be.
Yeah. So what other ways have you identified that works for you in keeping that balance on an even keel?
I think yeah, I'm still working on it. Honestly, it's something that is a major player in the way that especially when you're starting in that first phase of the business, which is really getting people to know about it and having to build proof that we're a viable
Business,
product. It's you kind of always on the go and your brain's always turning. But I think always just making sure you build a schedule for the day, and you have a list of the important things that you want to tick off. Once those things are done, you save yourself some time to go and do something else that doesn't even
switch off.
It doesn't require any thought about what you just did and what the business is doing. So that's kind of, I just make maybe a list of 5 to 6 things, and then I do that, and then I pause, and then maybe come back.
Yeah.
Okay. If I can recommend a book for you, would that be okay?
Yes, please.
Of course.
All right. The book's called The Go Zone. And it's been authored by Mark McKeon. And in fact, in one of our upcoming membership events, he's going to be a guest speaker for us. And where he talks about the go zone is when you're in the zone, he calls the go zone, the work zone, I think it's called, and also the no zone. So the no zone is when you completely switch off from everything. And the go zone is when you're really in the zone, you switch off everything that burps, beeps, and makes funny noises, and just concentrate on what you're doing. But he limits the time blocks to which you're actually doing that. So an absolute great book. I heard him speak at one of our conferences, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And so I'm excited that he's going to do a bit of a guest section in our upcoming membership event. So highly recommend that book to help you find that balance.
Yeah, that's good.
That is a good point, because like I feel like when I'm working, sometimes I still have my other distractions around, like your phone, or you've got other people you're thinking about going to see later. So you just kind of, if there was a time period that I put down on paper that I was like an hour just going straight into what I need to do for the business, and then I tick it off, and I'm like, no zone.
Yeah.
So like that. I'll have a look.
Yeah. No, that's great. And look, I'm really impressed that you're really open to learning as well. So what are some of the other learning things that you've done that's helped you to get to where you are today? I guess just doing that crash course was a huge one.
Yeah.
And also just talking to as many people that are more advanced in this world than what we are, essentially. Yes. Just speaking to people that are going to give at least one piece of advice at a time. And it's just you got to make sure you hear the advice and you also take it in and potentially apply it later on. I really do like kind of putting myself into situations that requires a bit of thinking.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, look, I can only applaud you and congratulate you on having that mindset, because it's interesting. I did another interview this morning with somebody who's a little bit in the vintage age of that I am, and one of the things that he spoke about was, the experience that people like us have. If I take my kids, for example, sometimes they're not open to listening to some of the experience and pass it off only to go and make the same mistake twice. So I really applaud you for having that mindset, Callan. That's fantastic.
Where it came from, but I think it's just something my parents have given to me, which is I'm very grateful for it, for sure.
Yeah, okay. So, when you think about, what keeps you focused every day, have you got any favourite sayings or quotes that you keep referring back to help keep you on track and focused?
Nothing really springs to mind in terms of like, and even just like idols and that kind of who really I can see through. Well, Ned Brockman, I guess. I don't know if you've ever heard of the guy Ned Brockman.
No, I haven't.
He ran whilst we were away. We were following him on Instagram, and he ran all the way from Perth to Bondi Beach over the course of like.
Oh yes, yep. I know who you mean now. Yep.
Following him so much, and obviously what he was doing is like a physical thing, but I think his whole mindset of like you can literally do anything, and he like pushed his body to the complete limit, and he got injured after like a week, but he still just got it done, and he's pretty inspirational to us.
The whole idea of like get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's his saying, which is
good. That is definitely one that resonated with us when he was gone.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I absolutely love that quote. And it's look, the only way that you can grow as an individual and as a person is that you have to go outside your comfort zone. So that's awesome. In terms then of if you were to start your business again, what would you do differently next time?
It's
a tough one.
I feel like everything's kind of happened and
for a reason.
It's just like the learning, even if there was something that went wrong, I feel like
always something's come out of it.
It's given me an advantage later on anyway, because I've been able to learn. Otherwise, if it didn't go wrong,
we never would have
then it might happen again in the future. So it's kind of like, I don't see, and in the position we're in today, we're super, real in high hopes of what's going to happen in the next few months to a year. So I think, I don't think
we'd change anything.
I can't see anything that I would do differently.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's great. So I guess it's a good segue into what does the future look like for you, and what do you see as being the main challenges moving forward?
Well, obviously the next phase, so the releasing of an actual mobile app, and we've been able to get some developers that we've made friends and
good friends now,
literally good friends with through LinkedIn. It's very
great. We struck gold with them.
It was a massive kind of it was such a blue moon scenario when we reached out to them, and they ended up being at the right stage in their life where they were like, we're happy to drop it all. We're really passionate about the idea that you're working towards, and because of that, they really almost came in for free, and they wanted a piece of the business, which is you can't say that. There's definitely value in there, but for that to happen was we've just been slowly working into that next layer, which is we'll see how it's going to hit when it all comes out, but I think it's that's going to be the next big task, and working out how to approach the marketing of
And transition from uncovering hidden gems to
yeah,
that.
we're changing our whole business kind of
The app name will be different. So.
yeah, because uncovering hidden gems is more of like a slogan and not really it's not like an app name.
It's not
So
short and sweet.
we've got another kind of bit of branding that we want to change over. So I think that's going to be quite an interesting task.
Mhm.
But
Yes, yep.
I think it'll be very achievable
We're up for it.
at this point. So, but the near future, that's what's going to be happening there. And then we've also got plans to just keep on traveling and just keep on finding new spots. And
yeah, so Australia, globally,
we're hopefully
where's the road going to take you?
yeah,
So we're hopefully heading to Bali in March for 6 months,
As you do.
Indonesia, so we can sort of backpack around there and just explore all of the hidden gems that Bali has to offer.
Yeah,
so that'll be next on our list.
Because we've got a Bali map up at the moment and we've done all the research for that. And then
Cal's been to Bali quite a few times.
Yeah, and I've been over there a few times. And
Right,
it's a lot easier to travel around to that kind of small
it's a lot smaller than Australia.
island life rather than having to road trip 3 hours to different destinations. So we'll head there
and
next.
spend $1 million on fuel a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, look, I think it's really exciting what the journey that you're on, and what a wonderful way to have a business where you're actually having lots of fun with it at the same time.
It's awesome. Yeah.
That's
probably
another motto I saw the other day, and another quote was, "It's just if you don't think about the a good job that gives you a lot of time off. Think about the job that you'd want to be like you don't want to escape from."
Yeah.
So that's the big mindset that I've always gone
like
with.
If you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And
look, I can hear the passion that you've both got for the business and what you're doing, and I really, really wish you well with that. So good luck and thank you for your time today. I really look forward to following your journey and make sure that when the app comes out that you let everybody know about it, because that'll be one of the things that when we do our trip around Australia is looking for those hidden places, those hidden gems as you call them. Because it's living up on the Murray, it's pretty flat, and whilst it's got its own attractions,
who doesn't love a remote little fishing spot? So,
it's good.
We're here to help.
Okay, thank you for your time today, and as I said, I look forward to following your journey with you.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Phil.
As do we. Thanks, Phil.
Okay, bye now.
Yeah.
See you, Phil.